So guys, we're back in the spot again, talking about Mario Odyssey 2, because I still feel like we are getting ever so closely to the reveal and release of this game, and I really do think 2023 is the year. But still, in 2022, I had to sit and think about what this game is going to bring to the table. And I still often think it may not even be Odyssey 2. But for today's sake, let's talk about Odyssey 2 wishes, things that we want to see, and today I have your guys' help for that. Last night I put up a community poll asking for your wishes for Super Mario Odyssey 2, and your specific ones at that. So today I have tons of capture wishes, stages, worlds to explore, characters, enemies, story objectives, everything you can think of, and you guys gave me a lot. So today I gathered 20 of your Mario Odyssey 2 wishes to show off to everybody here today. If you have your own wishes and want to appear in maybe another video like this, make sure you leave them down below. Leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario Odyssey and Mario in general, and let's get into our 20 Super Mario Odyssey 2 wishes. Grant wants the ability to play with different characters, and I think everybody really wants this. I think most people are really just expecting Luigi, but could you imagine if you get to play as Princess Peach using Tiara as her Cappy as well? Luigi has his own Cappy. You could even have Yoshi be his own playable character. I don't know if Yoshi would wear a hat, but even Wario and Waluigi, they have caps as well. It'd be really cool to have more characters and maybe even tie them into a story. I even made a whole video talking about how it would work in a multiplayer sense, having different captures play as mini games like from Mario Party. That would be so much fun. Imagine having bullet bill races against each other. I literally would love that. Blizzard wants an absolutely huge Bowser's Castle to explore as an entire kingdom, and I couldn't agree more. I loved Bowser's Kingdom and the Japanese inspired area that it had, but I would love to see Bowser's Castle itself. We got to explore it a couple times in the spin-offs like the Paper Mario games, and that's really about it. I want to go throughout his entire castle, see his chambers, his dungeon, even his bedroom. Don't ask me why. Donkey Kong fan wants to see a Donkey Kong Island, and also Donkey Kong NPCs. That would be really cool. DK Island is probably one of my favorite places in Nintendo. It's just very fleshed out. Each world feels very different than the last. There's beaches, there's mountaintops, volcanoes, all types of crazy terrain changes, and I would love to see the entire island in Super Mario Odyssey. I know that's a lot of worlds. If we're talking about Donkey Kong Country Returns, that's going to be like 7 or 8 worlds, but if we're talking more along the DK shaped island from Donkey Kong 64, that could be cool as well. Throw in King K. Rool Island as well, then we have a deal. But yeah, even talking to the Kongs would be a really cool addition as well. Maybe even giving us a couple missions where we could play as Donkey or Diddy or maybe even Dixie or Kiddy Kong. Yeah, no one wants that. Rory wants the ability to play as the bosses after you beat them, such as capturing them. And I actually made multiple videos on this because I thought it would be such a cool concept too. Imagine playing as Knuckle-Tech and just flying around punching things and breaking walls and structures. Or flying around the Ruined Kingdom as the Lord of Lightning. That giant dragon would be so much fun. Or even being each of the Brutals and using all their special cap attacks, which would be so much fun as well. And that could also expand on gameplay purposes, maybe even doing puzzles with each of the Brutals would be kind of cool, and I'm still kind of surprised that they weren't capturable originally. Wiener Dog just wants the game to exist. I really can't even blame you, because I'm at that point too. I'm almost out of specific wishes, I just want the game to be here, so you're not wrong. Paperboy wants a kingdom based on a storybook, something very similar to Luigi's Mansion 3, the film floor, where you could have Mario traveling into a few different stories and maybe having to play a different role in each of them. This reminds me of the upcoming game The Plucky Squire, which actually has you playing in a storybook and eventually jumping out of that storybook to play in some like kid's bedroom, which is super cute. It's like a kind of Toy Story drawn to life type of thing, and I love it. There's so many different play styles. There's even like beat 'em up style, shoot 'em up, you know, 2D and 3D platforming. There's just so much going on, and I know this game is going to be massive, so I know having Mario kind of traverse a kingdom like this would be even cooler. Luca has 2 specific captures that they would really want to see in this game, and that's Rocky Wrench / Monty Mole and a Thwomp. Rocky Wrench / Monty Mole would be really cool because we know at least Rocky Wrenches throw wrenches at people, so you could go underground, pop up and throw wrenches, or maybe each world has an underground section only accessible by rocky wrenches or Monty moles, giving a whole underground network of caves and stuff in each and every kingdom, which would be really cool, expanding the kingdom not only across horizontally, but also underneath. And thwomps feel like it needs to happen, but I just don't know how it would even work, because you can't really do anything besides smash down on the ground. I know there's some that can move horizontally, but maybe there's like some type of mission where different types of Bowser baddies are walking through a hallway and you have to smash down and kill all of them. It's kind of brutal, but it would be fun. Come on, let's be honest. It would be a lot of fun. Tim would like to see a haunted or spooky kingdom that you could actually capture boos, bruisers, dry bones, and all types of civilization of ghosts could be NPCs as well. That would be a lot of fun. Once again, I have talked about how the Ruined Kingdom was kind of ruined because they didn't do much else with it. You know, it was just a place to battle the Lord of Lightning, and that was about it. I would have loved to explore the ruins of what was a thriving civilization and to kind of uncover the story for myself to see what happened there. And maybe even some of the NPCs and characters of that town are like ghost or skeletal remains of the people that used to live there, and they can kind of give you their part of the story, and you get to uncover like a giant mystery at the end of it. That would be so much fun. Here's one that I can tell you for sure that I was not expecting to wake up to. MD wants to see capture fusion. Yes, fusing two captures together. I don't know what this would even look like. I guess you're just taking one capture and pushing it with the other, like capturing a Goomba and then a frog, and then you got a Goomba frog. Let me introduce you guys to the Froomba. Look, don't get mad at me, get mad at MD. Cyberstorm wants more connected regions of the same kingdoms we've already had, and a few new ones at that. Also more references to old games if possible. Now I like the extension of previous kingdoms. As you can see on the map, each kingdom has so much more landmass to it, and there's so many kingdoms that really didn't get explored as much as I thought it could have. For instance, let's talk about the Ruined Kingdom again. It could have had a lot more done with inside of it. There was a whole part of the wing, I guess, on the continent on the southern part, which it doesn't even look like we get to explore. Just the top part of the kingdom on like a random broken tower to fight the Lord of Lightning. Even like the Cloud Kingdom where we just fought Bowser could have been expanded with a whole entire castle within the clouds with cloud NPC characters and stuff. That would have been awesome as well, but nope. So I would love to see that come back, and especially since we didn't get DLC, definitely expand on these previous kingdoms within Mario Odyssey 2. Mango Man wants Peach to be unlocked after beating the story so you could play with, obviously, Tiara, but the main thing that I wanted to touch on was a comment talking about how they want to see Isle Delfino be an unlockable kingdom at the end of the game, the same way Princess Peach's castle was. Yes, yes, and yes. Obviously, you know my soft spot. Super Mario Sunshine. I needed this to be a reality. Of course, the leaks and concept art and stuff showed that Isle Delfino was going to be on the map right beside the Mushroom Kingdom, and whatever happened for some whatever reason, Nintendo said we're not doing it. I don't know what happened. And personally, I thought it was because it was going to be DLC or it was going to be thrown into the next game, but still no word of that kingdom has happened, and it makes me a very sad and salty fanboy. Now, I would love to see more kingdoms like this, even from Mario 64, like Bomb Battlefield, but you know what? Isle Delfino has to happen, and if it doesn't happen in Odyssey 2, we're going to have a problem, Nintendo. SML Nerd Fan wants to see retro kingdoms with the world from past 3D Super Mario games. That would be really cool. I've always talked about a Mario game that kind of went back in time, like a Mario Time Machine type of game, where you played through worlds and levels, maybe even 3D versions of past 2D levels and stuff that we played in the past. That would be so much fun, and just maybe even revisiting some worlds from 3D games that we loved, like Bomb Battlefield again, Womp's Fortress, and even Sunshine stages in Galaxy. That would be a lot of fun, even though I think they would probably do that in their own game, not necessarily Odyssey 2, but who knows, Odyssey 2 could definitely change things up. Instead of going around the globe, we're going through time. A random Nintendo fan, yes, that's their name, wants a mountain kingdom. Imagine like a luncheon kingdom they describe, but you get to climb to the mountain top, and the further you go, the thicker the fog and snow is up there. There could be little camps across the mountains, caves, and tons of cool little Easter eggs on the giant mountain they claim, and once at the top, you could have a skiing/snowboarding minigame all the way back down to the bottom. I think this is a great idea. I love mountains in video games like Rock Candy Mines and New Super Mario Bros. U, but expand that into a 3D game. You know, I often even sat and thought about Ice Climbers getting their own 3D adventure game where you had to make your way to a giant mountain all the way to the top. So this would be a really cool idea, and I would really even love to go inside of the mountain through the various different caves, maybe even have a minecart segment that you could ride just like Donkey Kong Country. That would be a lot of fun for sure, and maybe even a difficulty element so that when you're on the outside of the mountain, you could fall back down and land on a lower part, or if you're unlucky, all the way back down to the base of the mountain, which would really make it a difficult world as well. This one's actually a pretty interesting one. Splat just wants to see the hat keep its customization when capturing a character, which is something that we definitely should have. For instance, if you're wearing a helmet or a snorkel and you go to throw it on an enemy, it'll capture it with Mario's hat once again, instead of keeping the snorkel on it. It'd be cool to see a rock with a football helmet on it. I mean, come on. Dolphin Dance really wants to see Peach and Tiara have a bigger role in this game, actually maybe even being playable themselves, like Mario and Luigi get captured, once again reminiscing that game of Super Princess Peach on the DS. We haven't really seen anything like this before, and that would be a wacky new Mario game, but I know a lot of people would probably complain because it's a new Mario game where we don't get to play as Mario. How do you fix this? Have a DLC expansion. I mean, they could have easily done that with Mario Odyssey already giving us, once again, those expanded areas of kingdoms we already have and allowing us to play them with Princess Peach, right? And Tiara would have been perfect, but I definitely see this being more of a DLC than a game of itself, but it's definitely something that I would love to play. FunnyBot wants to see different types of caps that gives different powers to Mario from various different kingdoms. What if Cappy gets lost or kidnapped or something in the very beginning of the story, and your job is to not save Peach, but to save Cappy this time around? In order to do so, we know that he has different ghost/cap creatures that exist in this world, so it'd be really cool if each kingdom had a different one, like one of his friends that helped Mario each time, and they had a specific move or something associated to them. They still capture enemies and everything, but maybe one from a kingdom can fly, just like the wing cap from 64. One has like a metal cap ability that can turn Mario metal. One gives him the float ability like he had in Mario 64 DS. Different things like that would be really cool. All Things Mario wants a Galaxy type of kingdom to honor, obviously, the Mario Galaxy games, but have Rosalina make an appearance as well. That would be really cool. And what would they choose? I know a lot of people want to say Gusty Garden Galaxy, but I would actually prefer more of like a little cluster of multiple different planets and galaxies throughout the entire series in one area. You could fly over to the Comet Observatory to see Rosalina, and then there's maybe like little pieces of Gusty, little pieces of Beach Bowl, and even galaxies from Mario Galaxy 2, just all clustered together in a little area in space that you get to fly in between and explore the individual planets. That would be so much fun. They could have even little Easter eggs and references to those actual galaxy counterparts from the actual game, which would be a really cool matchup, and people can go through and look at the differences and things that stayed the same and everything in between. So a Mario Galaxy Kingdom has to happen, Nintendo. Kyle wants a hub world this time around, but not just any one. He wants one that can be decorated with collected items. Think of Splatoon 3, they say, in the locker system, as you can just put stickers and all types of collectibles all in your locker and really customize it for yourself. Imagine being able to do this with an entire hub world at your own disposal. Imagine like Peach's castle, and you get to decorate her castle with everything that you collected in your adventure. You could do that in Odyssey 1 with the actual Odyssey itself. You could put stickers on the outside and collectibles and knickknacks on the inside, but what about making it even bigger, like taking it to an entire castle this time, really making this game customizable and unique to yourself, and maybe you get to go explore other people's castles and stuff from online. That would be awesome. This one I touched on a little bit earlier, but Tiger wants to know, what if we had online multiplayer? Having little capture battles or races in a vein of Mario Party would be so much fun against people online to see who's the best at certain captures and stuff, and maybe even having leaderboards as well, like we've seen in Mario Odyssey 1. But what would be even cooler is if we could all play together, like play hide and seek or just run around kingdoms together and do whatever we want. There's mods out like this currently where YouTubers like Small Ant actually play these, where they play hide and seek around kingdoms or just run around together, and it would be so much fun just to have our own customizable Mario or whatever character we want running around one of these vast kingdoms. I hope they do something like this because this could be really cool. Let's all be honest for a second. The first time we saw Bowser's amusement park area right after defeating him in his castle, our jaws dropped. Let's be honest, because mine did. I know yours did as well. This place was amazing, and unfortunately, I didn't get to explore it anywhere near the amount that I wanted to. Imagine a kingdom where you get to go up on the Ferris wheel, go around Bowser's castle itself and all the giant towers and playlands. You get to ride a roller coaster for a mission, and you get to just go anywhere you want in this theme park. There's circus tents and all types of collectibles to find and secrets hidden everywhere and mini games to play and carnival games to play. Just thinking about this would be amazing. It's like an amusement park, but instead everything's trying to kill you. Would be really funny. Like, for instance, just little things you wouldn't expect. Like, you go to play a mini game and a little punching bag hand will come out and try to punch you or something. Just little stuff like that littered all over this place would be phenomenal. Thank you so much for everybody sending in their comments today. If you guys want to add more comments to this, comment them down below and you could appear in part 2 talking about more wishes for Mario Odyssey 2. These can be very specific wishes. They could be weird ones like merging captures, and they could be whatever you want them to be. Make them interesting, make them fun, and make them unique. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario and Nintendo in general. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.